Here we are on the final chapter.
Oh boy.
Yep. So that was meant to be a crossfade, well, a fade to black and then fade up to be show the passage of time. Guess where we are now?
Isaac, use one of the loaders to get the marker off the shuttle.
We're on the planet.
Oh.
Would it be nice to see progression? But we're on the planet now,
Cool.
That would require budget.
which they did not have.
EA Games and Visceral Studios did not have a budget.
Visceral Studios didn't. EA
Ah.
did not give them one because this was a new IP, and EA is very greedy.
I hate. Yeah.
They do not want to take risks because they love money. But hey, we actually get to see what it's like on the planet. I say planet, I think it's more the size of a moon. It's like a planetoid. It's not quite. But we can see up in the sky the massive chunk of land that they uplifted, and we can't quite see down into the pit, but we can see like the lovely skybox that they've made.
Ooh.
Lovely, lovely, lovely.
And we're planet side for the first and only time the game ever should have been. No.
But then, how would they rip off Event Horizon if it wasn't set on a spaceship?
It's its own thing now.
I know. I was being facetious.
I tell you what, I am looking forward to see how final chapter, taking place entirely on the planet, is gonna look, because I guess we're taking the fight to them directly, the Necromorphs. So hey.
So we're trying to return the marker so the hive mind isn't pissed off anymore. Because the guy's studying them.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm taking breaks from the sound because it is loud in my ears, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to leave breaks for the sound design. So the guy that got killed said, "Hey, it's angry because we stole its marker, and they're all hanging around the marker. So we'll stop them getting to Earth by putting the marker here and dumping them there, so they don't follow us."
Isn't it something about dropping the big rock on the marker, like?
Trapping it in the center of the planet, yeah.
Yeah. So the marker's buried or something.
I kind of love that. I kind of love that. Here, take your damn marker. We didn't want it anyway. You have it. Please stop attacking us.
There we go. Now we've got to find a battery to power the elevator. Do you want to help out at all, love? No? Cool.
You're doing a great job, sweetie. I'll just stand here and give you moral support.
I don't like sweetie.
I don't know.
And love I'm okay with, but sweetie, I don't know why I don't like that.
That's her words, not mine. I'm playing a part of her there.
I know, yeah.
Sweet meats. No.
Okay.
If she's as possessed by necromorphs as I think she is, maybe she would call you sweet meats.
So, the pagan statue that we picked up is like, hey, here's massive fuel to buy the rest of what you needed.
Hooray! It's vendor trash.
Yeah, pretty much. So we got the highest ranked suit with everything, and we're just now gonna. We got so many health packs that we might as well fill up our inventory with all the bells and whistles. So we're gonna buy. Oh, I didn't mind to buy contact energy. We established that that's useless.
Be nice if you could just buy explosives, because this is where you would go all in with those, I imagine.
Well, there's probably going to be friendly fire, like intense friendly fire with that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Well, we have some of the alt modes on the guns that are basically explosives.
Yeah.
So
Force
finally,
gun. Was it a force gun or was it a contact beam?
contact beam did explosive damage.
Oh, yes.
Force gun is a shotgun.
Oh, yeah.
So the game's finally done what I wanted it to, where it puts a bench right next to the store.
Yay! Finally learned. Like right at the end, it finally learned.
Fully upgrade the pulse rifle. Let's upgrade the damage output on the line racks. Capacity, why not?
Oh my god, that's a lot of upgrade.
Yep.
Whoa.
Still not enough, because it wants New Game Plus. I say it wants New Game Plus. New Game Plus is there, and it would overpower you if it gave you too many.
Yeah.
Do you have the option? Do you have the option to up the difficulty for New Game Plus though?
Yeah, you can play it on easier. The actual
Cool.
guide that I suggest for this format is play it first time on normal, because that's the way it's meant to be played. Second time, New Game Plus, play it on easy, so you grind for items, and then you go on the harder difficulties to get the achievements and reward unlocks.
Yes.
This is Sergeant Newman, PSEC. We've lost all
Ooh,
the
this looks nice.
One of them just
That's a good idea. I usually just go straight from normal to hard, so I kind of like the idea of that grindy playthrough where you just cream everything.
do not land. Do not land.
Oh, that's great. Why would you leave a recording saying "Do not land" on the planet? Put it on the radio, idiot.
Maybe it fell out of the cassette player.
I may be dying, but I'm still a hipster. I'm going to use a cassette tape for my radio warning. Oh.
Alrighty, so another little visit to the shop there,
Yep.
because God forbid you run out of those plasma energies that you're swimming in.
Ah. Birdie dudes.
Nice slow motion raw from them.
What's up with the immediate slow motion as soon as they die? Is that a feature?
No, that is
No, it
stasis.
was the stasis.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I forgot that. I forgot that was the thing that could happen.
We've been using it a lot recently.
Ah, right.
We didn't. Well, I say we. Oh, it's your friend David.
Oh, hey there. What up, friend? Well, I much prefer the little friends. Oh, wait. Oh, that is the little friends. They all come together and they wear a trench coat to sneak into the films. Yeah.
Yes.
I do like those guys.
5-second delay.
Oh, yeah.
It's a good thing our girlfriend just despawned.
I have to go now. My planet needs me.
On said planet.
Oh, damn.
No, she's in the safe room over there.
Oh,
Ah, yes. He's doing computations and whatnots.
I think.
Yes, he's doing the programming.
So we can tell that the marker's been. That is an excellent door opening sound effect. Genuinely, that's really good. We can tell that by looking around the environment, we can tell that people have been affected for a while because everything is just scrawled with the alien text. We've got like like people's drawings of the marker. So it's like they landed on the planet and it started taking effect before they even knew it existed, and they were drawing these almost double helixes of the marker's form.
Alright.
Old building.
different coloured chalks and patterns. Oh,
Is it-
oh no! I threw some ammo down. Didn't mean to do that.
Is it possible to translate or interpret said writings, or is it like, you know, gibberish for the sake of narrative?
Might as well be gibberish. There is a text that you can download of.
Yeah.
So it's a literal, like, from the
Alphabet.
alphanumerics, the Latin alphabet, or whatever it is that we use. Greek. It's Greek, isn't it?
No, I think it's Latin. Greek is different.
Yeah, Greek has the. Of course, it is. Greek is the.
Alpha, beta, gamma,
Yeah,
Omicron, that sort of stuff. Yeah.
the Omega. The Omega's the main one. I remember.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, there's a different symbology.
Different graphemes.
Language is just fascinating in general.
Yes. As is crushing necromorph skulls.
Oh yes, very much so. Can't think of a better way to spend a summer evening.
I bet that alarm. Is there an alarm going on at the moment? I can't hear it.
There is, yeah.
Yeah, I
It's,
bet that's not rating at all.
It's not actually. This is a clear out all the enemies alarm.
Right. Contamination.
And unfortunately,
Although, Go
again, because this game isn't you're mobile, you're not very mobile. There's no like the actual system in place is very tanky and stand still. Enemies that spawn in and you're in an elevator sequence and you stand still. You know, it's I described this in earlier on the stream. Is that it's one of those things, like, as a game designer, you want people to be moving around the level. And my own experience in dungeon design for D&D games has been, you've planned out a full thing, but, you know, people will just make noise at the beginning of the level, attract everyone, and then just stand still and not take advantage of the terrain, the environment. Which is kind of sad, because you've put in all the effort.
But yeah, I mean, you did mitigate that though with the dungeon we explored more recently by adding an element where we couldn't make noise, otherwise immediate consequence. So yeah, or as far as we knew anyway.
Again, you're talking about things that people have no frame of reference to.
Well, it's the frame reference is the description you just made, so about making a loud noise and everything coming to you. Yeah.
Babby. Surprise Babby.
Well, I mean, it's difficult because in this, what are you going to do? You've got enemies spawning in. It's more advantageous to wait for them to come to you. Because if you run close to them, they're melee enemies. They're going to attack you. You're going to close off as much distance as possible. So if they're spawning on the other side of the atrium, then I'm going to stand still.
The only thing I can think of is that if you spawn them on, he's trying to get the player to move around to different areas of the atrium, using enemies spawning maybe on top of them or something, or ranged.
Oh no, we
things,
can't get to the final ammo room. Oh dear.
Reduce the enemy's aggro range and give them enough, you know, AI to take cover when you're far away from them, so they're not just out in the opening. Target practice.
You know, there's them enemy zombies. Doesn't fit their character. It's difficult.
Yeah. If there wasn't a problem, it would have been solved. So it wouldn't be an issue. But hey, oh, exploded dude. Oh, he exploded nice.
5 seconds behind. They're already taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You
So
are
what
efficient with your murder.
So what it has done to try and mitigate that, so it's not just all the enemies spawn in, stay still for a while, and then you proceed by finishing off the repetitive puzzle. They spawn in at sections, so you move it, bring up the bridge, move it, enemies spawn in, and then like they bleeds through essentially. So it's not all at once.
Cool.
Is there anything in the next one, or just another elevator thing?
Oh, that is a
Oh, wait.
filthy biocurse over there.
Ooh. Oh, hello.
Oh, you've got range on you as well. You're also counter sniping.
Oh, it's one of those wall guys. I hate those.
Yeah, all the way over there. There's two actually. It's their
yeah.
names are Ik and Uk. One of them always lies. The other one tells the truth.
Oh boy, that's a callback and a half.
He's actually still alive. This is a larger open space than anything in Dead Space 2. That isn't vacuum. And Dead Space 2 has a sniper rifle. This game does not.
Can you not go through the door?
I can.
Ah,
I did.
the joys of delay.
For some reason, this chapter's really messing with... The mouse controls are really messing with me now. How unresponsive every single control in this game is. Like... God, it's like trying to wield a slug with your mind.
Mind slug.
That's a very colourful simile there. Oh, I don't know what. Maybe it's just because there's so much to
It's-
render in this level that it's chugging.
No,
or-
no, no, that is not how controls work. I'm sorry.
I don't. I can't. I wouldn't be able to tell you another reason they'd purposefully hamper their own.
Because it's a bad port. That's your answer. It's a bad port. It's, you know, they've got mouse acceleration on and you can't turn it off. The controls are unresponsive at the best of times. Like trying to rotate that, it takes several clicks. Trying to reload takes several clicks. It's abysmal. So just trying to do finite aiming doesn't work when you're gently nudging your mouse because you played normal shooters, and then that not working. But
The amount of items.
yeah, it's what else are we going to carry?
Do we need all the line racks, or...?
Probably not. But what we do need, because I'm running out, is I should use the other weapons I'm carrying. But why would I not just use the best in the game?
Yep.
It is yeah.
Just indefinitely. Way.
All the plasma. All the plasma.
We'll use the line rack a bit more. After all, we did upgrade it. It would be a waste not to.
I like you say that in such a begrudging fashion. Like, I guess I'll use the slightly inferior weapon.
Plasma cutter's where it's at, yo.
Your
But,
grandma
Yeah.
spent a lot of money on the line rack for you for Christmas, so even though you don't like it, just put it on.
Do you want to drop a quick save, or...?
I think I just did.
Nice.
Do you know what's great about big environments is I have to run to the other side of the room just to get to the lockers. I can't wait. The bridge controls are broken. Gonna have to go through a sequence and a half.
Oh yes, of course.
Oh boy.
Entering zero gravity.
I'm gonna have to go through a meat thresher.
Oh god, this bit.
I don't think it is a meat thresher. It's just running on the walls and. There you are.
Okay,
When
I
I
dig
turn
this. I dig a lot.
when I turn the power back on, that fan's gonna spin up and I'm gonna have to block it with something. I'm just waiting for that physics puzzle because it hasn't been done yet in this game. It's been done in every other game with minor puzzle elements, but
I think you just got to stasis
Just
it.
stasis on it, yeah.
might as well actually, yeah. Right, where do you want me to go it that way? It's really good that they like. Normally, I'd like tear a game apart for having like a waypoint system like this, where it's literally follow this line, but where you can actually become disorientated and lost and turned around because of the actual axis, how it is. You know, you're running past all planes. You're not tied to a specific point of gravity.
It does help,
Um,
yeah.
You know.
It isn't like a complete crutch which completely takes your vision and attention away from the beautiful world that has been crafted.
Well, it's also necessary, so it's like, oh, this is the way I go. I'm not completely lost and turned around. Which, you know, normally you would be. You've
Yeah.
got to orient the player some way.
Yep.
Alright, time to switch some fan on.
Yep, on goes the power.
Now the fun begins. Well,
Begins.
Fun.
the fizzy lifting drink scene. Let's do that now.
Oh, Charlie, you dropped the battery.
Why did we? Why did we build our fans, our industrial fans, out of razor blades?
Quick, Charlie, burp and fart your way to freedom.
Oh no, Charlie's a necromorph.
Ah!
My favourite thing about that scene will always be the fact that Charlie freaks out that they're going to be killed as the camera is looking at the fan, which clearly has just a flat structural support on it, which you could just grab onto.
Stand on,
And
yeah.
just hold yourself there.
And in
It's like-
fact, they do hold themselves on it.
You're
Yeah.
talking about the original, right? And not the horrible Tim Burton one.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm sure the Burton one does it worse somehow.
I don't think it actually does it.
Oh, that's worse then.
The Tim Burton one's about the important character of Mr. Chocolate Factory owner.
Willy
Remember?
Wonka?
Yeah.
Exiting zero.
Oh, here's a boss monster. Maybe it will recognize me using my stasis on it this time. There we go.
Hey.
The last time we encountered one of these, it was in the middle of a animation, so my stasis, which was my last use of stasis at the time, did not take effect.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it was in the middle of just like smashing through a glass plate after killing Hammond.
But it had begun the normal walking animation, which made me believe that it was
Ready for shoot.
Yes.
again, fixed it in Dead Space 2. You can interrupt animations with
Attacks.
yeah.
We've got power now, that's cool.
Hey. Let's
Yay.
get more and more powerful for the last stretch of the game. Lovely.
Lovely.
Need to find a bench first. And of
There
course,
is.
save scum.
Yep.
I say save scum. It's a linear game. You can't save scum in a linear game. Not really.
With set save points also, yeah.
Yeah. They're frequent enough that if you got a game crash, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
And it also saves at the end of the chapter.
Don't tempt fate.
Have you not had any crashes during this stream, or...?
Audio cut out and I had to restart the game.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what
The joys of technical difficulties.
oh yes.
Oh, that's a big scary noise with an audio sting. I think our plan to attract the hive mind is working.
Space whales are angry.
Yeah.
All this and we're trying to appease them. Just can't satisfy some terrifying biological cursed horror.
Oh, hi, Cthulhu.
A biocurse, yeah. He'll have no fury like a biocurse. Scorned. That's a quote from the Bible. It's directly, Jesus said it to a necromorph.
That part.
No,
No one read that bit.
that day we were all Judas.
Let he who's without sin be the first to stamp on a necromorph's face.
If only we had listened to Jesus and not doubting Thomas, who was known for doubting.
Hence his name, I suppose.
Okay, I can feel there's like a tension build up to a final encounter, unless we're like only like a quarter of the way through this.
I
this
think
process.
we've been escorting the game. The game designers would have known we've been escorting the pillar enough. Like 3 rooms, roll of 3s. I think that's enough. Yep.
Let's take this rock to the safe place. There we are.
Oh, that actually surprised me. Yep.
Oh yeah. Ooh.
That's a big monster.
Big gribbly dude.
That's a big bowcurse.
It's a wibbly wobbly.
Is that the technical name?
Yes, actually.
A wibbly wobbly.
If you could read the alien language, that is what that subspecies of necromorph is called.
None of us can
Genus.
talk today.
And it really
Speak for yourself. I can't talk most days.
It's very difficult to host a disco whilst I can't do words good.
Whoa. What I love is that... Sorry. It's increased the frame rate of...
Oh yeah, David's not seen the twitchy dudes before, has he?
I haven't, and I love them.
They've got a
They're like-
faster animation cycle. It's the same animations in Sim Skeletons as the standard slashers.
They're like the Jacob's Ladder dudes. I think they're inspired by.
Well, the twitchiness, yeah.
They exist
I-
in a higher plane of frame rate. I love it.
Yeah, their animation has this... because it's unlocked frame rate.
You've got some.
I'd
Yeah.
say for video games, it's more inspired by the nurses from Silent Hill as opposed to Jacob's Ladder. Because
But
it's
they
a...
were
Yeah, but they were inspired originally, but they're tried and trusted source is Silent Hill. So,
So here's a question. I know that EA Games like really tried to push Dead Space to be
a co-op shooter.
well that, and also just a cross-medium franchise. So there were like maybe not shows, but there were films.
There was
were
an anime.
books, an anime.
There was an
any of
anime.
those? Were any of those any good?
No.
Oh.
There was also a mobile phone game or a PS Vita game.
Was the
There was a
mobile
Wii
phone
one.
game good?
No.
Have you
Fun
heard
game.
of it?
Oh,
Okay, let me explain to you. Have you remembered it? Did you know of its existence? If yes, then yes, it was good. If no, no, it was bad.
you've got to be quiet for the next bit, I think.
I want to be quiet for the cutscene, but I'm being attacked. There we go.
Thank you, Isaac. I always believed in you. I knew you'd return to me. We are whole again, Isaac. We are whole.
Oh no, she was an amalgamation of our psychology. We was being manipulated by the marker all along. It wanted us to do this.
Geoorbital gravity tethers offline.
I like how she just went bip out of existence.
Evacuate this area immediately.
Yep, so the marker wanted to be returned to the planet. And it manipulated our psychology. And now the rock is slowly falling to Earth. Well, the planetoid. And it's beginning to burn up on re-entry. But it's just so far away and it's so massive.
Is this gonna be like the ending to a Metroid game where you have like a timer to get out of the planet because it's gonna blow up? Because that's kind of rad, if that's what's happening.
Well,
Let's see. Oh. Uh-oh.
that's Arial font.
Wait. I think behind you there's a thing.
You really didn't think I was just gonna walk away, did you? I can't do that. Marker's coming with me. It's a shame. I'm starting to like you. Even if you are insane. What, you don't believe me? Take a look at yourself. Better yet, take a look at the video from Nicole. And this time, watch it right to the end.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening. It's strange. Such a little thing. In the end, it all comes down to this one little thing. I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once. I loved you. I always loved you.
Don't kill yourself on camera. Metal Gear Solid 4 did that. Oh no. Oh, why didn't I finish watching my girlfriend's YouTube video to me? No. He was living in doubt. He didn't want to believe it. So he denied the truth.
Maybe it's because I'm the biggest, sappiest person in the world, but considering Isaac up to now, in terms of body language, he's just been a big stompy mess. The fact that he really looks sad there really got to me.
Aww.
Oh.
He's one custom animation.
Oh, someone's messaging me. It's not work, is it? No. Well, it was, but it was confirmation.
Good. It was a good work text.
Yes, it was. Here's your money.
Hooray! For money.
So we talked over the bit at the end there, but she still wants the marker. But this whole time, Isaac's been living through denial. And of course, I could be funny. I say funny with finger quotes that you can't see. Isaac could have just been living the whole time, just like, oh, I should have actually finished watching the video. Oh.
Oh.
I think the idea is that he did.
He
watch
was
it to the
living
end,
in-
but
yeah.
repressed it. Yeah.
Well, not exactly repressed it, didn't want to believe it, and wanted to go on the hope that maybe he still wanted to see her again. Maybe he wanted to retrieve the body.
A fool's errand.
Yeah.
Anyhow.
Oh, poor Isaac, though. Oh. As if he hasn't been having a bad enough few days.
This is all in the space of a day.
Wow, as if he hasn't had a bad enough day then.
He's been doing fetch quests in every single chapter, in every area he goes to, retreading to like old places he's been to do the same thing again, basically. And now he has to fight a giant monster.
Yesterday, all he had to do was fix a broken engine. That's the job for you.
Ooh. This smear. So this is the boss fight. Welcome to the boss arena.
Let's do this.
Yeah. Oh, that's a cool shot. That's a very cool shot. It being
Whoa.
silhouetted by the burning re-entry.
I am final boss man.
Seeing it all right there, that thing, I kind of love its design. I kind of dig it. Right down to the big, bulbous yellow weak points right on the face.
Shoot him in the face, Polyps.
So this is that same creature from before, but just with a wholly different perspective, because now you can see the whole dang thing, and wow, yeah. Doesn't seem particularly difficult, but hey.
This bit is because it's hard to control.
Oh. Oh Jesus, yeah, that looks like an absolute pain in the ass. Don't get me wrong, it looks really cool as an onlooker, but playing this doesn't seem like fun.
So guess what? If you get hit by one of the tentacles at the beginning, it's instant death.
Oh, nice. Well, that's good.
That just...
Hello, hello, hello. That doesn't sound healthy.
Oh, that wasn't instant death. I'm getting it mixed up with something else. That's instant death. At some point.
Maybe it was the earlier fight with the Leviathan. Maybe
Nope.
at some point.
And luckily, like, you don't get stun locked by it.
Oh, good.
And the hitboxes are nice.
Yep.
Gotta love Isaac and his invincibility frames. Much needed invincibility frames. We all know and love him for.
And 3,
I love
that
his
was close.
wiggly little ribs.
4,
Oh.
and open. it's so cool to look at.
Yeah.
Best design in the game, I think.
Mm.
It's so lovely and Lovecraftian.
This is just a solid fight. I'm going to assume this is the final boss fight, and if so, it's pretty goddamn solid. It's just so goddamn heavy metal having that burning asteroid in the background. So good.
Just needs a bit of rules of nature!
That, something like that. What is the music like, actually? Just out of curiosity.
Not special.
It's quite sort of staccato and sort of dun dun dun.
Can we just leave it screaming at the end of phase 3? Because let's listen to the audio design. Because it's got. It was screaming in several octaves. Like it's got several like lungs from humans built up around it.
Nice.
Oh, got loot.
Here we go.
Leggy.
Oh, hello.
We got to escape.
Get the fuck out of there.
Oh, that didn't look
No.
good. Yeah. Crack the planet in two.
Well, that ruled.
Ah,
Wow.
No, Isaac's just finally taking off his helmet. Yep, there's the generic white male that we saw at the beginning. Only now he's got a bumped head somehow when he had a helmet on. Guess it wasn't the best fit. Yeah.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry.
He got his closure. And that was Dead Space.
Sorry, that ending's a bit. That's a bit silly.
jump scare!
You really should have just ended it on the sad face and like a fade to black. That would have. Oh well. I'll give you that. Whatever.
What it should have been is just her sitting next to him.
Oh, that would have been really strong. Yeah. Wow.
It didn't need like the jump cuts to install the idea that it's fast jumping motion.
Well, anyway, that was having just watched this game and never having seen it before. That was fantastic, and I kind of want to try this myself now. I'm a huge
Dead
baby
Space-
man, so yeah.
Dead Space 2 is definitely one to play into, go into. We'll look at Dead Space 2 in 2 weeks, which again, if you're watching the VOD, will be like in the next part of the playlist or the next playlist or whatever. Next week, of course, we're going back to Shadowrun again. But yeah, this is Viscera game, one of the only games Viscera Games ever made, because EA decided that they'd liquidate them by making them produce a terrible game and then using that as an excuse to fold them under. Like they tried,
Like they do with
with every property they own, like they tried doing with Respawn Entertainment. Instead, Respawn made one of the best games I've ever played, and EA tanked them anyway by having their launch date at the exact same time as Battlefield.
Yeah.
But like I said, Dead Space 1, like, I don't know how. It must have been like me tweaking with the graphics settings, just to make it less CPU intensive. But for some reason it like tanks on the CPU on PC, and the frame rate like died at several points. I mean, it has. Looking back over the footage, it still has anyway. It's an okay looking game. Writing kind of meanders at points.
Yeah.
I don't know. What did David? You came in with fresh eyes. What did you think from a 2008 game?
I mean, I haven't got the highest standards with games, but I find myself often getting quite bored of just shooters in general and like any kind of shooting action game. So I feel like this is a game where if I had tried it, it would have gripped me and I would have stuck through it, if not for my low tolerance for jump scares and the like. So yeah.
Anything else?
Sorry, I mean, well, kind of just ask me a direct question about the game, and I'll kind of.
Oh no, I was just wondering if you had anything else to say. Like I always say, I think the monster design is great. I can see the clear inspirations from Event Horizon and The Thing, and those are two things that I love. So actually seeing them in like in an okay game, it's great. I just wish it was a better port, and everything I wish that they had done was done in Dead Space 2. So
yeah,
I'm just looking forward to looking into that. Vorzac, your thoughts?
I think this is a very good proof of concept of anything, if anything. I think Dead Space 2 is the real proper meat on the bones, whereas this is just a bit. This is just, like I say, a proof of concept. It's very much a here's an idea we've got. We've got a very limited sort of budget to work on, so we're going to try and
let's test the waters to see if there's
Yeah.
still a place for survival horror in this modern generation that we're in.
Yeah.
And it turns out that
And
there
this
was.
setting.
And it turns out that there was, because this was a lower budgeted game, relatively speaking. Of course, it was not a full-on indie project. It was sort of middle of the road, and it made its money back because it had its audience, and it was budgeted accordingly to that audience. And Dead Space 2 played with it, and again was a success compared to its budget. But EA said, no, it's not a success. I mean, this is an industry that says several million copies sold is a failure. So they tried bringing it into what was popular and ended up alienating the current fan base and didn't bring in the actual the fan base that they wanted to bring in to sell those millions. Now we're just
Dead Space 3.
Yeah, with Dead Space 3, which was a flop. Dead Flop
Yeah.
3. Right now we're just looking at all the development babies that whose parents weren't there for the birth of because they were busy in crunch time.
is that actually what this is, or are you just
No,
making a
some of
cynical
these
jab at it?
these are thanks from the developers who they'd like to thank. That was more a jab at the industry. And development babies are usually neglected children because their fathers, not so much their mothers, who thankfully do get maternity leave, not so much the fathers, who are kept away from their families in crunch time, because crunch time is an abuse of human rights.
To kind of perfectly cement that point, I love that one of the credits was, in all caps, "My super pregnant wife." Wow. Yeah, you're not wrong about that. I'll tell you what, I do have a big thought about this, is that I felt this was really strong on its own. So to hear that you two consider this to just be the proof of concept, and that 2 is apparently so much better, I'm very excited to see what Dead Space 2 has to offer.
Dead Space 12 coming to a theatre near you. No, with
No, this was dead.
we've got some online. So playing through just on normal difficulty, we unlocked a new suit. Got backstory logs, which we'll take a look at. We got 5,000 credits, 10 power nodes, so we can play an OP run, and impossible mode, which is like the hardest difficulty. So we
Don't
could,
get hit mode.
yeah,
Also, one interesting thing I think to point out about the chapter titles is that if you take the first letter of each chapter, they spell out a sentence.
I did not know that. What does it?
What
does it
is
spell
the
out?
sentence?
Nicole is dead. Seriously.